Hello, welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough. We're going to begin laying down. This is a hot weather practice. So laying down with your shoulder blades on a little bit of support. So I've folded a blanket so it's long and narrow and it goes across the mat under the shoulder blades and the arms out from the shoulders straight out to the side. Gathering those parts of yourself that you send out to others and to actions in your life, gathering those energies to yourself. And notice what would feel good for your legs here. So maybe hip width parallel, legs bent, maybe soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Follow the flow of your breath. And letting your body relax around that flow, feeling spacious. Good. And then we're going to gently fold the arms in and bring the legs into the parallel position, feet on the floor, knees bent. And we're going to work a little on the upper core of the body. So you can either bring your hands or your fingers under the back of the skull, so you're supporting your head a little, or you can bring your fingers to touch your temples. And we're just going to lift head and shoulders off the floor and back down. Now, it's really easy to just use the neck muscles here, but I want you to try and send where you're lifting from into this upper core, just above the belly button of the body. Good. And we're going to do one more of that. And then you're going to lift up your head so you're just off the floor and bend from side to side, your upper body. You might be able to feel those muscles around the lower ribs working. So we want to do 3 cycles. Back to center and rest your head down. Just rock your head gently from side to side. Make sure your neck is relaxed. Good. And we'll do one more and we're going to rotate this time. So just either temples or lightly holding the back of the skull. Head is just off the floor. Widen your elbows a little. And now we're going to turn the upper body from side to side and really engage the core muscles of your body. Good. Let's go side to side again. Nice work. And relax your head back down. Shake your head a little. All right. We're going to move our body towards the feet. So it's as if we're trying to move 1 or 2 vertebrae where the edge of the blanket is under the spine. And we're going to do the same sequence. So just lifting and lowering and trying to get it to be the core of the body that's doing the lift here. And then we're going to lift the head just a little bit off the floor and side to side. Side. We do 3 sets. And then lay your head back down and just gently ease that tension out of your neck. Hard to not be tense there. And then we'll lift the head again and we'll try to make it the core of the body. So really press your back down to the floor. Good. And we're going to rotate. So we're going to turn both elbows to face left, both elbows to face right, left, right. Make it the core of the body, not your neck. Keep your neck relaxed. Good. Beautiful. All right. And lay your head back down. Nice. We're going to just very carefully roll off the blanket to the right side. So you can take the blanket out and we're going to lay back down flat. So now the lower core of the body will press the lower back into the floor and feel the belly start to hollow. And then if you lift both of your feet off the floor, we're going to keep the lower back pressed into the floor. Nice. And we'll take the arms straight up from the shoulders. So this is the starting position. And you try to keep the skin of your back on the floor. And we'll take one leg, left leg, right arm, away from center. You don't have to go all the way near to the floor. Generally, just a little movement is going to be working the core body. Good. And then opposite side. So just move as far from center as is enough for you to be really pressing your back and feeling the lower core of the body working. Nice work. Lovely. Hug your knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side. Mm. Mm. Good. And then put your feet down. Take your left heel onto your right knee and take your legs over to the right side. We're going to keep the left shoulder onto the floor and turn to look over the left shoulder. Mm. 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 Beautiful. Core awareness as you lift your legs and take your right heel onto your left knee. Legs go over to the left side. We'll keep the right shoulder blade down and turn to look over your right shoulder. Relaxing into that breath. Beautiful. And lifting up your legs. Nice work. Hug your knees into your chest, rocking a little bit from side to side. We're going to roll over to the right side and find your forward virasana. So kneeling towards the back of your mat. And we're going to take the arms forward. Take your left hand behind you. So just rest the back of your hand on your sacrum. And then turn your torso to look to the left. We'll put the right hand where it is, but we're really turning the ribs. And then see if you can wheel your right hand out along the mat and lengthen the spine. Maybe your head is closer to the floor. Just keep the neck relaxed. Beautiful. Reach your left hand back out in front and take your right hand behind you. Rest the back of your hand on your sacrum and turn your torso to look to the right. So turning the ribs and wiggle your left hand out along the mat and turning to look right, lengthening your spine, finding that nice big movement of the ribs and the stretch of the left side of the body. Lovely. And come back to both arms out in front. Good. And then we're going to come up into downward facing dog pose. So stretch both of your hands, the fingers on both hands out wide. Walk the feet a little closer to your hands than you normally would and bend your knees and lift your hips. I'm going to sway the hips from side to side. And we're going to try and open the ribs on both sides of the body. So when you sway the hips right, you can feel the left stretching. And when you sway your hips left, you can feel the right stretching. Keep going side to side. Keep the weight in your fingerprints, the base of the index fingers. Beautiful. Back to center, letting your head just hang down. Pressing your heels, lifting your kneecaps, lifting your sit bones. Pressing your heels even more as you stretch the back of your legs. And then forward virasana, knees to the floor, big toes touching. Lovely. We're going to lay down onto the floor now. So you're onto your belly. Bringing your hands under your shoulders and elbows in and elbows back. Lift the breastbone and stretch your legs out. Press the tops of your feet down. Squeeze the buttock muscles towards center and feel that lift is coming from the back core of the body. Good. And then you're going to lower down and just rest onto your hands. So put your hands under your forehead and wobble your body across your thighs. Your sacrum is relaxed now. Just relaxing. Okay, now you can either repeat, hands on the floor under the shoulders, or you can try taking your arms back beside your body, lift your palms to the ceiling, and we stretch out through the legs again, press the feet down, squeeze the buttock muscles, and feel the back core of your body lifting. Feeling the flow of breath. And then we're going to lower down and turn your face to one cheek and give your neck a stretch by just relaxing. Good. And then we're going to do one more Salambhasana. So rest onto your forehead. And this time we're going to lift the torso, the arms, and the legs. And really reaching, lifting the palms up, reaching the toes back, feeling the back core of the body strong. Good, shoulder blades back. Good, and then when you lay down, lengthen, turn your face to the other side, and just relax. Good, hands underneath the shoulders and elbows in, elbows back. Lift up as far as your back is comfortable with. So we don't want to squash between any of the bones of the back. So lift up to where you can. Try to keep your elbows in. Good. And then if you walk your hands further forward, you might find that you can have straight arms or nearly straight. And we'll draw the shoulder blades back and finding that stretch for the front body now. Keep drawing the tailbone towards the heels, so keep the lower back long. We're breathing. Look up. Beautiful. Laying back down. And then we're going to put the hands under the shoulders, press yourself up into all fours. And we're going to arch the spine. Find your flow of breath. And follow that flow along your spine. And as you move gently, notice tension dispersing. Feel the suppleness of the spine as you explore all of your movement. Beautiful. All right, we're going to take a seat now. And if you could take your blanket and make it a little bit higher seat. So if I go from a long, narrow support, I could probably just double that over. And I've got quite a high little stool there. We're going to sit up onto that and bring your heels in as close as you can, close as your knees allow. Good. And then we're going to hold somewhere. So you might hold the front of your knees with your hands, or you might be able to get your elbows to hold the front of your knees, or even wiggle your upper arms through the leg. So your upper arms are holding the front of your leg. And so we're in a supported malasana, squatting pose. And you're just making sure that your knees are fine with the movement. So if your feet need to be further out, you're probably holding with your hand. We're going to keep bringing the lower back forward. Bringing the lower back. Lifting the chest. Good. And then we're going to release that and take a seat where your legs are comfortable. That could be crossed legs or legs out straight. So in the same way we were just bringing the lower back forward, try and do that again. And you could hold your knees or your leggings to help you, or put your hands behind your hips. But see if you could bring the lower back forward. And when we make that movement, we're tipping the pelvis forward as far as we can. Nice work. We're going to think about the pelvis tipping forward and tipping back, and let the spine follow. So it's a spinal wave, but you're going to follow your movement And again, as you make these subtle movements, we're following the breath into that movement and exploring your own suppleness, your awareness of that part of the body, the tilt of the pelvis. So as you wave, the whole spine is following. There's an opposite direction to the way you're going. Oh, see if you can coordinate mind and body. It's a little bit of a massage for the core body. Oh. And then sitting tall. Feel the flow of your breath and feel the length of your spine, the aliveness. All right. We're going to do both legs out straight in front. I'm still up on my high blanket. I'm going to just lower that down or I'll probably slip off. But generally, the higher the blanket, the easier to tip the pelvis forward. So if you have got a couple of blankets there, take a little bit of extra height. Okay, so same thing. We want to try and get the pelvis to tip forward as far as we can. So let's just rock forward and back the pelvis and bringing the flow of breath into that part of the body. Being curious about where that feels like a difficult movement or maybe a very subtle, hard to discern movement. All right, we'll tip the pelvis forward and you can have your hands behind the line of the hip if that helps you, or hands out in front. You can hold your clothing or your feet, but don't be in a rush to put your hands way forward. It tends to hunch the spine. So find somewhere for your hand that's going to help you embed the bones of the spine forward. And we've started that awareness at the pelvis. We're tipping the pelvis forward. Now we're going to try and press the sacrum forward at the back of the pelvis. And now the bones of the spine, the lower vertebra and the middle vertebra. Between the shoulder blades. And the top of the head forward. Breathing. We're going to bring the left hand now and hold the right hand and hold your left leg. And we've leant forward, the pelvis is tipping forward, and we're going to turn the torso to the left side. Use your hands in a place that feels sensible to support your spine lengthening and turning. And let's follow the breath into turning the ribs. Nice work. Come back to center, but stay reaching forward as far as your spine will go. Good. And then take your left hand to the outside of your right leg and turn your ribs to the right side. But follow the breath to make that movement. Mm. And reaching back towards the front, Paschimottanasana. Holding where it makes sense with your hands, feeling the whole length of the spine, reaching forward. Tuck your chin into your chest, so the back of the neck is long also. And follow your breath into lengthening the spine just a little more. Deepening the front hip crease a little more. Beautiful work. And then inhale and come up. Nice work. We're going to take the left leg in for Janu Shisasana. Take the left leg out to the side. So these are big muscles that we stretch in our forward bend. And when we lay down for relaxation, they cool down. This is why it's considered a hot weather practice. But you can do them all year round, of course. All right, so we've got the left leg folded in, and you can put as much pillow or blanket underneath as you need. If your knee isn't comfortably supported by the floor, take support. All right, let's start by turning to the right side. So we're going to turn away from the bent leg. And again, try that different way of moving into a posture. Follow the breath into the posture. Follow the breath with the ribs. Okay, we're going to hold the twist in the rib, and then we're going to try and reach your left rib over your right leg towards the little toe. And follow your breath into this movement. Put your hands where they support, where your shoulders are spacious. Keep the bones of your spine reaching forward, the hip crease deepening. Breath by breath. Finding the stretch in your left lower back. Good, and then we'll release that side. Both legs out in front. Bend in your right leg. Support your right knee either onto the floor or onto the equipment. We're going to sit tall and feel the pelvis tipping forward. So we'll get the awareness into the pelvis first. Lovely. And we're going to turn the ribs to the left, away from your bent leg. And follow the breath into that movement rather than immediately the mind saying, oh, that's enough. So we'll follow the breath and just see what is possible here with your movement. Finding ease and space. Beautiful. And then we're going to start to reach the right rib over the left leg towards the little toe side of the foot, reaching as far as you can, following the breath. Finding those places in the body that feel a little resistant or stuck. Feeling the flow of breath there. Appreciating all those protective mechanisms. Deepening the left hip crease, reaching the right lower back a little further. Good, and then inhale And coming up, Janushisasana. So beautiful. And we'll bring both of the soles of the feet together and bring your heels in as close to your body as feels good for your knees. Okay, and again, it's really good if we can support the knees. So if they're not supported by the floor, you can put your hands there to hold them a little, or you might have blankets underneath. Also, if your knees don't bend this much, you get an external rotation benefit, even if the feet are out further in front. So long as your knees feel okay and you're supporting. And then however you're working, if your knees are on the floor, you can just hold your feet or your ankles. We're going to try and bring the lower back forward again. And the pelvis forward. Notice where your body resists. The safety protocol of not overstretching. But sometimes that resistance is just a leftover or a perception. So exploring what is real in this moment in your body and follow your breath into the places of your body that resist this movement the most. If we were to start tipping the pelvis forward, pressing the bones of the spine forward and forward bending. Follow your breath there. Oh, lovely. And then we're going to release. Now, the next one, we're going to do either cross legs or a comfortable seated position for you, turning to the left side. Finding the sacrum and pressing it forward. So even here, the pelvis starts to tip forward. The bones of your lower back press forward. And then we're going to follow the breath into the twisting movement as far as you can to your left, your wrist, your neck. Following the breath. Raise your left arm by your left ear and reach your right rib over your right thigh. And you're going to reach as far as feels good for your back. If you have a lot of movement here, you can try and aim your right shoulder for the floor in front of your right knee. We keep taking the left rib back. But really, we're just following the breath to the natural place that we can move to. That feeling of natural and easeful movement, even when we're doing something awkward. Good. And then releasing, lift up your arm, lift up your torso. Change the cross of your legs. Turning to the right side and follow your breath with that movement. Lift your right arm by your right ear and then take your left ribs as far as you can over your left thigh. So lift the ribs and reach them out, maybe even heading your left shoulder towards. And we're going to take the rib cage in a circle around the sit bones, the foundation. You're going to follow the breath into finding all the little subtle movements of your spine and your ribs and your core. And the other direction. And back to center. And we're going to lay down. And take bamboo pose. So take your blanket for underneath your hip. And you want to put it in a position that helps you to find your lower back. So where we've been working on bringing the sacrum and the lower back forward, we now want that to hang down to the floor in the opposite direction. So it feels a little bit like a sling, and it just can relax. The lower back relaxing. If it doesn't feel like your lower back is relaxed, then this might not be the posture for you. So you might do this with your hips elevated but your feet on the floor. Otherwise, legs are up. And you're going to find for your arms where it feels good. So that might be straight out from your shoulders. Maybe you can bend your elbows at 90 degrees, like Arizona. I like the mixed botanic metaphor of the bamboo and the cactus. Closing your eyes and noticing that feeling of the legs suspended. Notice if you are holding tension, trying to hold your legs up. Letting the leg bones sit nice and heavily into the hip joint. It's simply balancing. Feel the flow of your breath. Not just in the torso, but in your shoulders and arms, your hands and fingers, in your hips and legs, face, skull, throat. And the awareness of your breath to your nostrils. Notice the temperature of the air that you're breathing in, the humidity. And notice the temperature of the air that you're breathing out, and the humidity. And this incredible sense we have in the membrane of the nostril. Body knows what temperature the air is. What the moisture level is. This incredible miracle of the breath. Supporting and sustaining the body. Folding in your arms and your legs so you can put your feet down and take your blanket out from under you. And you can either lay down straight for Shavasana if you'd like to stay, or hug your knees into your chest. And when you're ready, rolling to your right side and coming up to sitting. Thank you for joining in. Namaste. When you lay out straight, check in with your lower back. If there's any residual tension there that you can't just let go of by paying attention, then put a blanket under your thighs, the knee to the tailbone, across the back of your leg. Follow the breath through your body. Discovering where you might hold tension and noticing if you can let that go. In your toes and your feet, in your ankles, in your lower leg, in your knees. And your thighs and your hips. And the pelvis and the belly, buttocks and sacrum, lower back, middle back, between your shoulder blades, between your shoulders, shoulders and upper arm, elbows and forearm, wrist and hand and fingers. Back of your neck, throat, scalp and skull, forehead. Around your eyebrows, between them. Around your eyes. Nose, mouth, lips, and jaw, and your ears. Following the flow of breath in your whole body. Breath by breath. Take a couple of deep breaths now. Feel where your body is supported by the floor, in turn supported by the earth. And start to gently move your feet, your hands. Follow the breath into that movement as we come out of stillness slowly. Moving your arms and your legs so that you can roll to your right side. And when you're ready, come up and have a seat. And bring your hands together over your heart. Take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.